On Easter Monday, something not only joyful but also dark comes to life every year. I will tell you a story that happened to me many years ago and which has not left my memory to this day. It was a time when I was young and innocent, a time when I believed that danger was nothing but an empty shadow in the dark. But how wrong I was. It was in a village lost in the mountains where time seemed to pass differently and where traditions had a firm grip. Easter Monday was a holiday full of joy and hope here, but this particular Easter Monday went down in the history of our little place in a very different way. I remember how the other women and I gathered at the church, ready for the traditional ceremonies. The village was decorated, flowers smelled everywhere, and children happily chased chocolate bunnies. But then, as the sun began to sink toward the horizon and the shadows lengthened, the tone of the village began to change as well. Suddenly, everyone lost the joy in their hearts. There was something in the air, something ominous, something we couldn't define but knew was here. And then, as if destined, terrible things began to happen. The first girl to disappear was Anna, the baker's daughter. She was a beautiful, gentle girl who always had a smile on her face and a good nature. The evening before Easter Monday, she left home to go for a walk around the village and never returned. Her mother waited for her all night at the window, but Anna never returned. The second girl who disappeared was Lenka, the daughter of a local teacher. She was a cheerful and energetic girl who loved music and dancing. She was seen in the company of a caroler walking through the village, singing carols in good spirits. At that time, no one paid attention to the fact that the carol was new and that no one knew it. Lenka joined him with a smile on her face, but from that moment on, no one ever saw her alive again. When the old hunter discovered Anna's body, he growled and ran back to the village. As soon as he arrived, he called out to the other residents.
Quick, quick, I saw something terrible in the forest just now. Anna, the baker's daughter, lies dead, overgrown with flowers and moss. It's crazy.
His words sent the village into shock. The people gathered and set off into the forest to find out what had happened. When they reached the spot where the hunter had found the body, one of the men cried out in horror.
"Dear God, this is not possible! What happened to Anna?"
The next discovery came when they found Lenka's body hanging from a tree a little further on. The man who saw it first cried out in horror and covered his mouth with his hand.
Oh my God, what is this horror? Lenka! Lenka! This can't be true!
The women who were there looked at the mutilated bodies with tears and despair as they realized that their neighbors and girlfriends were gone forever.
Why? Why did this have to happen? Who are you? And what do you want from us?
One of them whispered as she tried with her last breath to recover from the horror. The village was struck with great sadness and uncertainty, but despite the horror and despair, everyone was determined to find whoever was behind this massacre and bring him to justice. It continued like this until the whole village began to tremble with each ringing of the carols. No one could be sure who was the real caroler and who was just an evil apparition in disguise. Whoever it was, those who approached him disappeared as quickly as the first girls. It was Easter Monday when I decided to stay home. I didn't feel well. Maybe it was luck, maybe fate. However, I heard footsteps outside and knew something was wrong. Then I saw her, a figure dressed as an Easter bunny. I had the feeling that it was just a dream, that I was lying to myself, that it was some kind of nonsense. But when she got closer to our house, I understood that this was not just about village superstitions.
"Who's there?"
I exclaimed, my heart pounding in my chest. The figure stopped and looked at me with its dark eyes.
Are you still alive? You won't be alive much longer, little miss.
"Who are you?"
I whispered, confused and horrified.
Oh, you'll find out soon, little girl. I'm already looking forward to you. You will soon find out, little girl.
The figure whispered and disappeared into the darkness. It was these encounters that led me to begin my search. Something was wrong with our village, and I felt I had to find out. I started looking for clues. I had conversations with people. I wrote down every detail. And then I found a dusty book in the attic of the old church. It was a book about the old legends and superstitions of our village. And there it was, the story of a vicious killer who disguised himself as the Easter Bunny and preyed on innocent women. I read about how a killer would take his victims to the woods, where he would hang them from trees and leave them there to feed the animals. And then I realized that I was supposed to be one of these victims, but I wasn't. I survived. Now, as I sit here telling you this story, I feel the shadows of the past returning to me. I don't know what happened to the killer, if he was caught or if he died, but I do know one thing. Something much darker than just joy and hope comes to life on Easter Monday. And I hope this story has proven that to you.